I know a lot of you guys who got the Analogue Super NT are a little disappointed right now. Maybe not as much as the people who wanted one and couldn't get one, but we do have an issue. If you look at their website, it shows the system paired with like a wireless controller, but it doesn't come with one. You have to buy the controller separately. Problem is that it's almost impossible to get this style of 8-bit-do wireless controller. A lot of people want this 2.4 gigahertz version that comes with the original port adapter. And these things are very difficult to come by at the moment. People are reselling them for hundreds of dollars, kind of ridiculous. You know, there's been some restocks. Very little has been trickling back out there on Amazon and through 8-bit-do's official AliExpress store. The price on these should be $25. Now, the second these go back up with the little tiny bit of restocks, they sell out like that, like instantly. So it's very difficult. And I want to talk about another option today that similar form factor, comes with its own receiver for the original port and costs pretty close to the same. I haven't used this yet, but we're gonna test that out. So I've heard a few things with this, that either 8-bit-do has discontinued this line, this style, the base Super Nintendo style wireless controllers, which kind of find that hard to believe, but then again, you never know. And then the other thing that I heard was that 8-bit-do just didn't know that the Super NT was coming back in stock, so they didn't have time to prepare. I find that hard to believe as well, because the owner of Analogue works for 8-bit-do as like their CFO or something like that. So why wouldn't they know? I just think maybe with things going on in the world or some other weird controversy, who the hell knows? But hopefully they get more of these out there, because I do want the other style one as well. I want to get my hands on one, damn it. But yes, excellent controller if you can grab one. It's worth the wait if they do a bigger restock. People want these wireless controllers. I mean, the original Super Nintendo controller you can get for a reasonable price, but people are trying not to be tethered to a wire right now. Excellent controller, but we're not gonna completely focus on this today. What I wanted to take a look at was this Hyperkin wireless Scout that can be used for the original Super Nintendo or any of these clone systems, PC, Mac, Android, Nintendo Switch, and more. It is a very multi-purpose device, very similar to the Bluetooth versions of these, right? This is a Bluetooth premium wireless controller. Hyperkin, I've got mixed emotions with these fools. I like some of their controllers, but it's mostly been their wired ones. I haven't had too much experience with their wireless stuff, but we do have this one here today. So I haven't used it. I've charged it because it came dead in the box. I couldn't get it to sync up or anything. Wouldn't turn on. So I did have to charge this up. From what I understand, this has like a 6-hour battery life, which is not the greatest in the world, especially compared to 8-bit-do. These things last like 20, 30 hours or so. They last a long time. So 6 hours on this thing. But let's get this box out of here. Now, with the little dongle action, it does have the Hyperkin logo there. When I got mine, it looked like a rat chewed on it. It's all like scuffed up, and there was a bunch of little markings and pieces of plastic. Their quality control is not the greatest, but we'll just have to see how this thing functions. A port there for, I guess, firmware updates, and there's that. And the actual controller itself, it's got them nice juicy butt cheeks on the back. I really do like that when companies make their own controller and they have butt cheeks on the back. Just kind of feels comfortable. Their wired Scout controllers I really dig. Now, I mean, the D-pad does feel a little mushy, a little bit mushier compared to, you know, even the original controller. But overall, this doesn't feel bad. Quality-wise, build quality-wise, this does look and feel a little bit cheaper than this, but definitely not extremely low end. I think mostly my nitpick is like this decal that's over it. Just kind of, it looks a little wonky. It's a little not completely perfectly lined up, as you could see like around the buttons and whatnot. That's kind of throwing me off a little bit, but I'll excuse that for now. I believe this is the only color that they have, is this whitish butt cheek color. Sync button there. So let's go ahead and sync this thing up and test it out. So here we go. I have not used this thing yet, so I'm really hoping it just works for my video here. Maybe it'll take a second to sync, but it is blinking. I did look at the little manual here. There you go, it's synced up. It does tell you about syncing. It does come with the charge cable. I didn't need to use this, so you have that. And then the dongle, which like their dongle, their little silhouette doesn't look like the dongle. It looks like the NES stuff. Okay, that's fine. But that's pretty much it. Button configuration for the Switch. They do have all the information you'll need in here in multiple languages. Live well, play well, do whatever you want, right? So let's go ahead and test this thing out. See how responsive it is. It does have like a little bit of a clicky feel that I'm not 100% accustomed to. I want to jump into this 240p test suite. So I just want to point something out. I'm not set up to do input lag testing. This is going to be just from my own actual feel from this thing. If you use this manual lag test, this isn't indicative of input lag. I mean, this is something where you can kind of get an idea of display lag and all that stuff, but you can adapt to this. So this test in this fashion doesn't really give you much. So I just want to show you, just in case people care, because you can adapt to this test here. It's an audio visual cue, and it'll tell you the frames. So there we go. You test it 9 times. So it's saying 18.35 milliseconds of lag. If I test either of these other two controllers, it's so variable that I'll get like higher on this, sometimes lower, higher, lower. It's just all variable because it's just rhythm based and you can adjust to it. So not a great test to try to say, oh yeah, this has this much input lag. This test is not gonna work that way. You have to be set up differently for, like this lag test, the first one, to be able to get a more, indicative, positive result here. These tests right here are not gonna work for this function. So just had to point that out. But I do want to just get into a couple games and just see how I feel about this thing. So one would be, just real quick, a game of Street Fighter, I suppose, would be one thing that we could test. Throwing off those Hadoukis, the diagonals feel a little off to me, like the way they're registering, but I'm not having too much of an issue performing moves in this game. Oh, he got me. The buttons do feel a little bit more spongy than the 8-bit-do or even the original Super Nintendo, but overall not too bad of a feel. I felt way worse, so I mean, just worth pointing out. I do notice they do feel a little bit more spongy, kind of like how the D-pad feels. Okay, overall not bad for Street Fighter, but since I'm not like a crazy competitive Street Fighter person, it is a little difficult for me to say like, yeah, this feels really bad or good. I mean, it seems functional. Diagonal's a little iffy, but definitely doable. I wouldn't complain too much here. Let's go ahead and try something that I can immediately kind of feel that it's bad or good, that'd be like Super Mario World, like the jumping and whatnot and running. I could typically feel with this, like if a controller is way off. So let's try this out. I just want to show you. Press, jump, jump, jump. Not too bad. Oh my God, see those, that's what I'm talking about. Like I was trying to let go and I threw it up. So that means it registered the up button. Diagonals, little, they're like registering. Occasionally I might have to just adapt to that. Maybe work it in a little more, the membranes. I don't know. Okay, I did want to just retry from the beginning of this stage to see, like, okay. Like if you hold up, I mean, he should look up, right? It's more of like that running motion. Okay, I mean, I still think the diagonals may be a little iffy, but I mean, maybe I just adjusted to it because, you know, I'm trying to purposely do it and it's not happening. I tried this a few times already. I haven't had that throwing the shell up. So maybe it either worked itself in or I just got acclimated to it, but it doesn't seem to be as big an issue now for me, but still worth pointing out because I know people will use this and if they, you know, experience something similar. Like, why didn't you point that out? Well, I pointed it out. I felt it too, man. I felt it too, right in my heart. I mean, playing Super Mario World, it feels legit. It doesn't feel bad. Is this a worthwhile replacement for not being able to get one of these? I mean, for the $30 price point, your money is yours. Do with it as you please. Do I highly recommend this? No. It has a few things I just don't like about it. It feels slightly cheap. The buttons are a little mushy. That diagonal issue occasionally. The overall build quality. I mean, if I were to rank like this controller, I would give this a 9. This one I would probably give like a 7. It's a worthwhile contender. It's a decent controller if you want that form factor of not having analog sticks or anything like that. Like I know Retrobit's gonna be coming out with theirs pretty soon that come with the original port. We'll be testing that out as well, hopefully pretty soon. Looking forward to that. But yeah, I would say a 7 out of 10. It's okay. Could be passable until you can grab one of these. Would I, like if I was in the position where I didn't already have this, would I spend, let's just say this was being scalped for $100. Would I pay $100 for this or would I pay $30 for this? I would pay $30 for this to not overdo it on this and just wait. Like eventually I'd want to get one of these because I think this is the best option for this system. But there you go, my thoughts. Hope you know you guys enjoyed the video. Do with my thoughts as you please. Really do appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Link will be in the description if you're interested in one of these. I'll put a link as well for this in case they go back in stock. Thank you guys. Big ass thumb button in your face. Peace out. Bye-bye and boom. Bye.